right, we are live, right?
We're live. We're doing
We are
it.
live. I said last week that we would have some background music, so there's your 30-second countdown video with some music, and I've actually got some tracks, so we're gonna try out this rock track.
Hi, Andrew. Want some rock and roll?
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Yes. Hey, Andrew. Yeah, 'cause we need some music to kick off a live stream event, I think. You know, music. What kind of show are you? I will have a different track next week. This is the standard one that comes with the live stream software we're using. Welcome everybody to AOLCC Live. We're doing this every single week, and what's awesome about it is we're teaching some things, we're sharing some things, sharing expert stuff, and we do giveaways. So we will be giving away $25 an Amazon gift card, and I'll explain that shortly. I need to turn off this music. It's
I feel like we're in like a
What was that?
I feel like we're in a really dungy, like metal club or something.
Yeah. So music is off, but yeah, we are going to be giving away $25 today. We also have a free resource at the end of the show that we'll give you, which is essentially everything we talk about today. You'll have access to it, so you can go check it out for yourself, which Melissa put together. Thanks for doing that. And what we're talking about today is we're going through 5 productivity hacks, 5 ways to help you get more time, get more stuff done. And then we've got a bonus number 6. It's not really a hack, but we've got a bonus number 6 that we'll be going through. And this includes everything. We're talking about things like time batching, talking about something called the Pomodoro technique. We're going to look at how to prioritize different mindset strategies, a whole bunch of different stuff to help you get more done in less time. As I mentioned, we are going to be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. And today there are 2 ways to enter. Is that right?
That is correct. So
the first way, and Melissa, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. The first way is any comment that you put on this video, wherever you're watching, if we're broadcasting onto, I think, 6 different Facebook pages and YouTube, wherever you are, if you comment at any point during the live stream, so that could be saying hi, that could be saying I love this, that could be saying you don't know what you're talking about, please don't comment that. Whatever you comment is an automatic entry to win $25. And who won last week?
Oh, man. I should remember this. I sent the gift card, but I don't. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Michaela. Hey, Triskin. Hey, Autumn. Yeah, you guys have just entered. Isn't that so easy? So hey, hi, Karina. Yes, any comment on today's video gets you an entry. That's way 1. Way 2, if you want a bonus entry to increase your odds of winning the $25 gift card, you'll have to wait till the end, and we'll give it away. So the lucky ones who stay till the end can follow instructions and get an extra ballot, extra entry, because you use a random name generator. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, I type all the names in, and then the internet picks.
Nice. So we will be doing that tomorrow morning is typically when you do that. But you can stay tuned until the end of today's broadcast, and you'll find out how to get your second entry. So first entry is any comment on this video. You will be entered to win $25. If you want a second entry, stay till the end. We are also offering, and I don't know if you're ready for this, Melissa, but are you the lone, AJ, are you the lone viewer on YouTube? You might be.
I was going to say probably, yeah.
We've got a bunch of people on Facebook, but you might be the only one on YouTube. It's hard to tell. If anyone else is on YouTube, say hi. We're just building our YouTube audience, to be honest, but we're glad that you're with us, AJ, and you've entered. So AJ, you have entered. We are doing a free coding class on February 27th. That's a Sunday afternoon. We're getting the instructor of our software and web development program to basically teach people, it's a workshop teaching people how to build a web page. So by the end of the session or workshop, you'll actually get a program that you can download that you can write code in, and they'll teach you how to write code, and you'll actually be building a web page. So the reason this is really neat is if you have any interest in web design or web development or software development, and you want to see what it's like, this is a taste. So you can see, oh man, this is awesome. I love this. I want to do this with my life. Or no, thanks. This sounds horrible. I never want to do this ever again. That's the beauty of a workshop like this. And if you're a current student of ours, well, actually, if you're anybody, if you know anybody who has an interest in programming and may want to learn how to code or is good with computers, may want to learn about our different web design, software development, web development programs, send them to this workshop. They can check it out for free. And if you refer them to Academy Learning and they start a program, we'll give you $500. So that's always good. $500 is always helpful. But here's where, I don't know if you're ready, Melissa. Do you have the link to register? We have it already, right?
I can find it.
Okay. Melissa's going to find the link. She'll put in the comments. This is how you register for the free coding class. We'll be doing a lot of promotion about this on Facebook and through our email list and everything like that over the next few weeks. But we just got the registration link. It's open to anybody in the world can actually go. It is entirely free. And again, it's happening February 27th. The other thing I'll just mention before we get into the content today is we also are running our free laptop promotion right now. So if you start a new program with us, you get a free laptop when you start. Again, if you're already a student, you would have participated probably in our guaranteed grant funding event, maybe last quarter. But the idea would be if you've got a friend who is looking for a job, that's what we do here. We train people to actually get jobs. It's not just about education, it's about the end result. If you refer them to us, they get a free laptop and you get $500 as a thank you from us for referring your friend. So, and to do that, I'll show where that is. Not that it's that complicated, but on our website, wherever you are, just go to refer a friend. If you're on your phone, there'll be a little hamburger menu, and it'll say refer a friend. That's where you go to refer a friend to us. But so anybody that you think may be interested in Academy Learning, do that. If they start a program, you'll get $500. But what we're talking about is that Melissa's still looking for.
I'm just about to put it in the chat. So
nice. The registration link for our free coding class. Great way to share with anybody you know who may have an interest in coding. Last but not least, last announcement before we dive into the content today is I didn't hear anything from Bob this week. Did you, Melissa?
No, I think Bob did a lot of activity, and then Bob needed a little bit of a nap.
Yeah. So Bob's stepping back for a little bit. If you want to see Bob again, you'll have to ask for Bob, and next time we see him, we'll share him with you. But we don't have any Bob updates today. So if you're interested in Bob, Bob will have to wait. And if you don't know what we're talking about, watch one of our previous live streams, the last two, or go to our Instagram account. Bob's a lot of fun. We had an interesting idea about Bob this week that, well, I won't say anything. It involved fireworks, and so we'll see.
Oh,
we'll
boy. See this is new to me too. So. Yeah.
Okay. How about we just jump in? Okay. Today, it's all about productivity hacks. And the reason we're talking about it is actually two reasons. One, this is something that is, I love productivity. I love time management. It's been something that's a personal passion of mine, which may sound funny. But prior to working with Academy of Learning, I spent a few years in leadership development. And prior to that, I was in the recruitment and staffing business. And so I've talked to some of the world's top leadership experts. And over again, one of the things that you see from the most successful people is they've got a strategy for how to best capitalize on the time that they have. The reality is we all get the same amount of time in a day. And yes, we all have different commitments. We have different challenges that we face. But if you actually build a strategy and if you actually pay attention and do some of the things that we're talking about, you can just get more out of your day. So you can actually focus on the things that matter. And that's reason one is I love productivity and time management. Reason two that we're going through this is because so many of our students are full-time students and full-time or at least part-time working and or full-time being a parent. We got a number of single moms, single dads who are enrolled in our programs. And it's a big challenge to think working full-time, maybe you're on shift work and you're trying to do school at the same time. It's how do we overcome fatigue, or how do we avoid fatigue, overcome procrastination? How do we actually get our stuff done so that we can accomplish our goals and build a career that we love, earn more money, accomplish the goals, and get everything that we're trying to get? And one of the keys is figuring out how to make the best use of the time that we have. So with all that said, let's jump into hack one, which Melissa's got. And hack number one is called the
Pomodoro
The
technique?
Pomodoro technique, which I actually heard about a number of years ago, and I've tried it a few times, found a lot of value in it, but I'll let you take it away and we'll talk about the Pomodoro technique.
Beautiful. So this is not the most important thing you need to know about the Pomodoro technique, but Pomodoro means tomato in Italian, which I thought was
Oh,
really
really?
funny. Yeah. So I had no idea. And the story behind that is that this university student was trying to figure out how to have more time, and he grabbed a kitchen timer that looked like a tomato and
Oh,
set it
there
to
it is right
25
there.
minutes. Yeah. And then the Pomodoro technique was born.
I feel, can you buy Pomodoro tomatoes?
uh,
I know that it's the same word, but I think you can. I
Tomato
have to
tomato.
look this up.
Quite possibly.
Or
So
maybe it's just I read something in Italian. Anyway, keep going.
so this one is super easy. So basically, you grab a timer, and it's better to have one that isn't your phone because we're trying to stay away from distractions and we're trying to not be bothered by, our phones going off all the time. So grab a timer. You set it to 25 minutes. But before that, I skipped a step. I got ahead of myself with the tomatoes. Is got a little excited. Is you have to pick your task. So it can be a single task, or it can be one big task, or it can be a bunch of little tasks. But you're basically breaking them down into 25-minute slots. So, for example, if I was writing a blog, or if you have homework, or if you have a task that you need to do in your house, you take it and you do it for 25 minutes, but then you commit. So you're doing something for the whole 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break. And then you do it for another 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break, and you do 4 Pomodoros, which is way more fun than saying time slots. So you're technically doing 4 tomatoes, and then you take a little bit of a longer break. So you're taking a 15 to 30-minute break. And then you just can kind of continue doing that until the time you set for that task or the thing you're trying to get done is all filled up.
So why does this work? Because I've tried it before and it's worked. I don't do it all the time, but like, why does this actually work?
So there's a couple reasons why this is super helpful. And a really big one is that it helps with procrastination, which everyone procrastinates all of the time. I'm super guilty of it. But the reason this helps is because it's way easier to sit down and do 25 minutes of work than it is to sit down and be like, okay, for the next 4 hours, now I'm learning accounting. That sounds dreadful. I'm also bad at accounting. So, but doing 25 minutes of accounting and then giving yourself a little bit of a break is way more manageable. And then the second reason this is really effective is that it keeps our minds fresh. I'm going to say studies have shown, but don't ask me which ones because I don't have any of them. That our brains actually can't concentrate for that long. So after 25 minutes, we're actually losing efficiency. So working for 25 minutes in a really dedicated set of time and then taking that break to refresh allows us to work at our most efficient and most effective for longer periods of time.
Love it. Well, what I've noticed, because I actually tried this last week and I'd done it before, but what I noticed is as soon as I said I was going to do it, something in my mind just told me, all right, get rid of everything that could distract you. And it's like, all right, well, I can't check my phone. I can't go to the washroom. I can't go refill my coffee because I just said to myself, I'm going to work for 25 minutes straight. And I get a little mini reward at the end. So I found that to be helpful. Just the matter of making a commitment that there's a time slot, a Pomodoro, that all I'm going to do is one thing and nothing's going to stop me. You're right. It's a lot easier to commit to that than it is to commit to 4 hours undisturbed because
That's a
I'm going to
long time.
refill my coffee or I'm going to be like, oh, it's fine. I'll just, check my.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break on my phone. She says 60 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not 60 minutes. That's a lot. But, time
And if you go to the bathroom with your phone, oh, it's over.
Danger zone. Yeah.
Danger zone. Okay, awesome. So that is hack number 1, the Pomodoro technique for staying focused and mentally fresh. You can actually find, again, we're going to give out at the end of a link to where you can find all this stuff. So if you want to learn about the Pomodoro technique and try it out for yourself, that's going to be the challenge for this week is try it out. By the way, hi, Anelli. Did I pronounce your name right, Anelli? Hello. And RTM. Hi, welcome. So if you want to try it out, how long does this take then? 25 minutes times how many time slots?
It's times 4 is technically the whole before you get your longer break.
So it's like 2 hours.
Yeah.
of, yeah, so 2 hours of focus time. And so that'll be the challenge. Try this out. We'll send out the link in our resource at the end. Try out the Pomodoro technique. Give yourself 2 hours dedicated to something that you need to get done, and you'll probably be amazed at how much you can actually accomplish compared to if you didn't. So that's hack number one. Hack number two is eating a frog.
Very weird.
So yeah, I know it sounds obscure, and some of you may have seen this. This book, Eat That Frog, it's by a guy. The author's name is Brian Tracy. He is a guru of time management and productivity, and has been for years. And this book actually floated around an office email. I want to say 10 years ago, where someone just attached the PDF of it, and I don't know, it just went throughout our whole office. It's a really, really short book. And Brian Tracy says that the concept of the title "Eat That Frog" comes from a story by, or a little thing from Mark Twain, who said, if every single day you wake up and ate a frog, you can be pretty confident that that's the worst thing that's going to happen to you that day.
That is weird.
And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to eat a frog. I'm sure that there's somebody listening being like, yeah, I eat frogs all the time.
Let us know if you do. I'm
but
curious.
The idea is a frog's not appetizing, and it's pretty big, especially if you look at the little graphic on that plate. And it's the thing that you don't want to do. That if you know that there's a frog that you have to eat, you're going to start putting other things ahead of it, and you're going to procrastinate and push that frog off. And the time management hack, yeah, it's pretty good, Kylie? The time management hack is eat the frog. Get the thing you don't want to do, the biggest, most important, perhaps the hardest task, get it done, and commit to actually eating the frog first thing you do every single day, because you can be confident that that's probably the worst thing you're going to do all day, and it'll avoid you from procrastinating. It's a bit of a prioritization hack. So that's the concept. If you actually want to read the book, you can do it for free. Now, in order to get it for free, you have to go to this website, which again, it'll be in the resource, and you're going to be on Brian Tracy's email list. He's going to try and sell you stuff probably. But you can unsubscribe. But the idea is, if you want to read the book for free, you can do that. And if you want to get better at time management, Brian Tracy's email list isn't the worst place to go. So we'll have that link up. You can read that, learn more about eating that frog. And that actually leads us into productivity hack number 3, which you'll see right here, the ABCDE method, which I didn't even realize was in this book until about 2 hours ago. But there's another book that I read by the same guy, Brian Tracy, and it's called No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline. And again, we'll have the link here. This is not an affiliate link. We don't make anything. I guess we could have done an affiliate link and made some money off you buying the book if you want, but we'll just put the actual link in the resource for you if you want to check out this book. It's called The Power of Self-Discipline, No Excuses. And I read this a number of years ago, and the thing that stood out to me was the ABCDE method, which again is talked about in Eat That Frog. The idea is it's a prioritization method. And the way that I'll just break it down, let me just click on this and make this a little bit bigger. It's essentially, you're going to create a list of things that you have to do, and you're going to do this every single day. Start with a plan, and you're going to, on your list, basically label each item on your list with an A, a B, a C, a D, or an E. And I'll walk through what those are. You can see it on the screen. So the A tasks are the absolute must-dos. This would be where you would put that frog. The thing that you have to get done today. It has the biggest impact. It has the highest reward. It is the thing that you cannot miss. Your top priority is A. Pretty obvious, right? But the nice thing is there's also a B. These are medium priorities. So you can think of most important for A and important but not critical for B. And then you've got some that are going to be C, where it would be good to do it, but there's really no consequences if you don't do it. And so what you're doing here is you're avoiding if everything's a priority, then nothing is a priority. That's what you're doing here. So if every single thing on your list is an A, then you haven't prioritized. But we don't like saying things are not important because everything on my list is important. But if I can go through And I can be like, all right, well, this is the absolute, there are severe consequences if I don't get this done. These are things where there's minor consequences if I get it done. Those would be the B's. And these are things where there's no consequences if I don't get it done today. Those are the C's. Right there, just by going A, B, C, you'll have an idea of where you should focus your time so that you can get the right things done in the right order. But then you also have D and E. So D would be things that you can give someone else to do. You see the word right there, delegate. Now, and this doesn't have to be work or study. In some cases, you can't delegate. But I mean, I've got 4 kids, and this actually even applies to housework. There are things that have to get done, and I should go through my list and be like, all right, what can my 8-year-old do? I don't have to do everything. What can he actually reasonably do? And I could give him a task that allows something in the house to get done. I'm now delegating it to somebody else. And it doesn't matter where the priority level is, but if you can get something off of your list and onto someone else's list according to their strengths and their capacity, whether you're in management or whether it's something in your house or something with studying or something with work, whatever it is, if you can give it to somebody else according to their strengths, the thing gets done, but it doesn't prevent you from getting the other 3 things done, or the other 3 labels done. And finally, we've got eliminate. That would be to go through all your stuff and figure out what actually doesn't even need to be on here. I've got a list right here, and I haven't done this yet, but I guarantee that there's at least one thing that just doesn't need to be there today. And going through and making that decision can be really freeing, because then your list can actually shrink a little bit. And the idea here is not to say that it's impossible to get everything done, but it's to be realistic and to make sure you're working on the right things in the right order. Because if you do this, then you don't get to the end of the day where you're like, shoot, I didn't use my time well. And that the biggest, most important thing either got missed and there's consequences, or you're not looking back being like, oh, I got to stay late at work, or, oh, I don't get to go to this event on time, or, oh, I'm going to have to go to bed late, or whatever the negative consequence is. You don't have that if you prioritize, because you end up working on the right things, and the stuff that doesn't get done is the stuff that had the lowest consequences. Now, an alternative to this, if A, B, C, D, E sounds like, I don't know, I don't want to do that every day, because it is really designed for maybe longer lists, or those times when you feel just overwhelmed and you need to write everything down. If you want a simpler method, one of the things that one of my previous managers used to do with me is it was CIO. I don't have a visual for this. No, I don't. But instead of A, B, C, D, E, it would just be C, I, or O. C being critical, I being important, and O being optional. So you can go through your list and just very quickly say, is this critical, important, or optional? And just by doing that, it'll allow you to put things in the right order. Now, the second caveat I'll add to that is if you end up with, I don't know, 6 different A's and 5 B's, the second step would then be to put a little number beside each one of them. So A1, A2, A3. And you're going to do that based on 2 things. 1, importance. You can stack rank your must-dos. That's okay. But 2, time, and maybe even batching, which we're going to get to. Is that next?
No, I think batching. Oh, yeah, batching is next.
Batching is
I
next.
know the order.
So batching, we'll get to batching in just a second. That's the productivity hack number 4. But you can number your A's based on your schedule, based on what makes the most sense of time, and based on priority. So it's really an in-depth way, but if you wanted to simplify it, CIO, critical, important, optional, and you can do the same thing with the numbers beside it. So that's productivity hack number 3. Just as a as a commercial break, for everybody that did not join right at the beginning, you can win $25. All you have to do is comment on this video and you get entered. And if you want to be entered again, then wait till the end and we'll have another way for you to win $25. And you could, maybe a good would be, you can say what your favorite hack is. That'd be a good comment to put in there. And that'll get you entered. Okay. Productivity hack number 4 is, and we have a link to this. Yes, we will provide this in the resource at the end as well. Something called time batching. So I'm not going to try and go through the history of what the term batch means, but the idea is to group things together that make sense. Um, I'll give a couple examples. One would be I'll give a couple obvious ones. One would be instead of checking your email 25 times a day, schedule time to go through and respond to your emails maybe once a day or twice a day. By batching that time, you end up keeping a focus on emails rather than getting distracted every 25 minutes because you're constantly checking your emails. You group that time together. Another way to look at it would be, and this is a very obvious example, if you're have errands to do, and we all probably know this, but it's a lot better to go out in the car or whatever, to go and get a whole bunch of things in one trip than to do it over 7 or 8 trips. You don't go to the dry cleaners and then come home and then go to the grocery store and then come home and then go pick up the kids from school and then come home. You try and batch all of those things which are relevant together. It involves getting in the car and going for a drive all at the same time as best you can. That is what it means to time batch. And the premise here is very, very simple, or similar to the Pomodoro technique. It's about removing distractions and keeping your mind in its highest focus setting. I don't know. Is that the right word? Setting?
I mean, sure. Today it can be setting.
Yeah, it's about getting the most out of your brain. So when it comes to schoolwork, if you think of you got 4 or 5 subjects or different courses, it would be group all the tasks within one subject together. Don't try and hop from science to math to English to science to math to English. Focus on all your science stuff, then all your English stuff, then all your math stuff. It keeps your brain, even as you're switching tasks, it keeps your brain in one focused area. So that's what time batching is. It's looking for things that you have to do, whether they're on your to-do list, and grouping them together so that you can work on one thing and keep your momentum going. Because every time we switch tasks, and there are tons of studies that just say multitasking is not a thing. I just Google, is multitasking a thing? And everyone will be like, no, 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 no. And then someone will say, yes, it is. I can do it. But most people, and the brain is not wired to multitask. And so if you can group similar tasks together, then the distraction or the lost momentum as you switch tasks is lessened. And I've found this over my career in different roles, where I'd be focused on something and actually be company based, where I'd be doing marketing for one company. And in the same day, I would have to do marketing for another company and another company, and they weren't all the same company. And guess what would happen? When I switch tasks, I have to get in a total different mindset. I have to remind myself of everything I'm supposed to do, kind of catch my brain up before I start being productive. And so the solution there was to have an entire day dedicated to one company, so that throughout the day, as I switch tasks, I'm not losing my momentum because I'm in the same frame of mind. So that is productivity hack number 4, time batching. And there's a cool blog on this from Monday.com. Monday is a what'd you call it? A productivity app tool?
And I was going to say hack management blog, but that's
Project management tool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Primarily for teams. I'm sure that there's a version for individuals as well. There's some others called Trello is one that we've actually used as a team, but you can also use that as an individual. But anyway, Monday.com, they've got a good software program for teams, and you can read this article about how time batching works. We will put that in the resource at the end. And that brings us to our final productivity hack for today.
Mm-hmm.
And that is to plan tomorrow today. And I'm going to walk through this in a second. I'm just going to go to a spot so that you're not distracted by the graphic. So the idea of planning tomorrow today, actually, the reason I brought this one up is I used to work at McDonald's. For anybody, if I haven't brought that up on one of these live streams before, Melissa, you knew that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you did mention it last week, but we've talked about it too. So.
Nice. Okay. So I used to work at McDonald's, and I don't even remember the guy's role, but his name was Keith. And I don't really remember a lot of what he said, but he was addressing the managers at McDonald's once, and basically gave a really, really good piece of advice that I'm going to pass along to you. And he just said, I always have a notepad on my bedside table, always. And the idea was, and I'm sure we can all relate, you lie down to go to bed at night, and you start thinking of all the things you have to do and the
Worse.
problems that you have and the ideas that you come up with. And there will be times, and I'm sure some of you can probably relate to this, where you can be sitting in your bed thinking, oh, I know what the solution is. And then you think, I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget. So I'm going to repeat it over and over in my head so I don't forget, which is just, it's ridiculous. Well, maybe I'm the only one.
It's not great for sleep. No, my brain is often like, how do microwaves work?
Oh, well, you know what, though? This is the idea of having a pad of paper, because when you think of something while you are sleeping, not while you're sleeping, but while you're lying in bed, you've got the ability to roll over and write it down. So even if you're wondering how a microwave works, write it down. There's a task for the next day. You would label that as optional.
Yeah, yes.
Maybe a C task, but you could actually figure it out. But how this really works is, and you can do this in two spots. We recommend either the last 15 minutes of your work day, or however you've allocated work. Yes, Andrew, you can use your phone notes app as well. And we've got a couple apps that we'll share in just a second as well. But the final 15 minutes of your day, you want to think, what do I want to do tomorrow? And where that comes into play is obviously planning. If you're working a 9 to 5, 4:45 to 5, and committing, I'm going to plan my day in those 15 minutes. Now, what may happen if you're anything like me is 5 o'clock comes and you're like, shoot, I didn't do it. And you're going to have to sacrifice 15 minutes to do this. But what happens the next day is, if you don't have a plan, and I'm guilty of this, there are times where I'll sit down to work and I'm like, I don't actually even know where I'm supposed to start. Or you sit down to study, I don't even know where I'm supposed to study. Or you look around your house and you're like, I don't even know, I've got so many things, I don't know where to start. And if you were to walk into each day already knowing the first thing I'm going to do is this is the frog I have to eat. If you knew that every single day, you'd be more productive. So we recommend you write out your to-do list and you prioritize it either right before you leave work or school for the day, or right before bed, which allows you to get everything, all the worries about the next day and what am I going to do. It allows you to think and process through that and write it down. And yeah, you put the notebook at the side of your bed, and if you think of anything, you can roll over, fill it out. But the next day, you wake up with your plan for the day. Now, there are you need to shout to Siri to record your notes. Yeah, good idea. And during this, I've never even thought about doing that. Siri just randomly comes on my computer as I'm talking, and that's the only thing that I use her for. But I need to use her better. So yes, there's already been some ideas put in the comments. You can use your smartphone, and there are a couple apps that are really, really good. So if you use Apple, I think there's Notes, or maybe it's on Samsung as well. But even maybe better than that, because this is available for Samsung and Android, is the Google apps. So you can actually go in. There's a new, it's relatively new. There's two of them. One is called Keep, Google Keep. Let me go to it. You go to Google Keep. It's like notes, and it'll sync into your Gmail email and sync on your phone. So all of your devices, if you're logged into Google, you can access your notes. The other one is, let's see if I have it on my phone, Google Tasks. And can I put that up? Google Tasks. It looks like a check mark, which again, you can put a little to-do list, and it ends up showing up right inside your Gmail, but have it also on your phone. And our team says, spend less time on the phone and you'll be more productive. Buy an old Nokia phone. That's such a good idea. Exactly. There's actually the value. Yeah. You know what? Best productivity tip of the day: get rid of a smartphone. That'll change everything.
You'll be more productive, but maybe they'll be less fun.
Yeah. But the point is, I like the Google solutions of Google Keep and Google Tasks, because I've got everything in my Gmail, and that's where I work out of. Now, you may not, but the idea of being signed in and being able to access something on your phone and then on your computer, it's the same list, is really nice. Another app, if you're not a fan of Google, is called Todoist. They're actually, they've got the blog that we'll link up about the Pomodoro technique. But Todoist is a free app. You can pay for some upgrades. but that'll go on your phone. It'll go in your computer, and it'll send you emails with tasks. So those are another one. It can come in handy listening to a book in your sleep.
I tried that when I was in school.
Tried listening to a book in your sleep?
I was really desperate.
Did it work?
It didn't work, no. Or at least not. Maybe if I was able to take the test in my sleep, but for being awake and taking an exam, it did not come through for me. Sorry, Andrew.
Try it out. Yeah, well, it's the same. There are times where, and this is just a bonus hack. If you have a drive, stop listening to the radio. Put on a podcast. There was a time in my life. I work from home right now, as you can see behind me. I'm in a home office, but there was a time where I had a 45-minute drive to work every day. That 45 minutes is an hour and a half. That is enough time to listen for sure to one full podcast that's an episode long, and even some of an audiobook. And if you convert from listening to crappy news and in some cases crappy music, depending on your opinion of mainstream music, and convert into audiobooks and podcasts, think about the amount of knowledge you can capture just in drive time. Like, and let's say you had 30-minute drive. That's an hour a day. That's 5 hours a week that you could consume. And really, you do nothing with that time. It is lost time if you're just listening to the radio. So there's a little benefit. Great, whatever it is, trigger there, Andrew, to make me think about that. Yeah. Smartphones can be great for audiobooks and podcasts. So check those out. Maybe we should do our favorite podcasts.
I will write it down so we don't forget.
Yeah, there's some really, really good ones on business, on careers, on education. And I used to actually run a podcast back in the day. Anyway, I digress. That's hack number 5 is plan tomorrow today. It makes such a difference when you can wake up in the morning and know exactly what you're going to do, know what frog it is you have to eat, and just get after things. And again, this applies to every area of your life. If you were to wake up tomorrow morning and you knew exactly what you needed to do to be successful, would you be better off than you were today when you didn't know what you were doing when you woke up? Aside from, I got to get maybe the kids ready for school, or I got to go to work, whatever it is. Having a plan for each day is amazing. And what you'll notice on this link that we'll put in the resource guide is there's a little worksheet. And this is just an example of what somebody, I guess this is probably the person, Michelle. I don't know who she is. But it's just an example to look at of some questions that she asks herself before she goes to bed. What is the number one most important thing I will get done tomorrow? The mindset thing there. Writes down what that frog is. Who will I connect with tomorrow? Talks about community, social engagement. How and when will I move my body tomorrow? Talking about health, physical fitness, and what am I going to do to take care of myself? And what is my vision for tomorrow and for my life? Talks about mindset and priorities. And so you don't need to use these questions. They're just an example. But the idea is if you went to bed thinking about these things and how to plan every morning, you read something like this every single morning, how might that change the way that you approach each and every day? So we want to share that one with you. The bonus is actually related to this, related to mindset. And yeah, it's a good one, right, Rena? My favorite hack too, plan tomorrow today, and I'm guilty of not doing it. The bonus that we're going to share is thought. It's called Thought Patterns for a Successful Career. And it's a bonus. This isn't really a hack, but this is the tie-in to why we're sharing this and how we're putting our money where our mouth is, I'll say. Productivity and mindset is extremely important to us at Academy of Learning. And I already said it right at the top of the show. Many, if not most of our current students and our graduates are doing school on top of a full-time job or on top of trying to manage a household. In many cases, we've got single moms, single dads who've got so much on their plate. And so one of the things that we do, we've designed our entire system around supporting students who have a lot going on. So we've got learning coaches who help our students get through their online programs and are available whenever is needed. I forget what the hours are, something like 8 in the morning or 8:30 in the morning to like 9 at night, you've got access to our learning coaches for a help desk, so to speak, with your programs. But we also have student support services and representatives who every student has access to someone who it's their job to support them as a student. And that's every single step of the way, from managing budget to managing time to managing stress to helping find a job when you graduate to managing the challenges of the work. And so that's how we address this challenge in our operation. But the other thing that we do is we have all of our students go through this course. Every student, when they enroll in a program, is automatically, or when they start a program, is automatically enrolled in thought patterns for a successful career. And we'll have to do another session on this because I'm not an expert. But this is an instructor-led program where we've got some incredible experts that are that teach this program. But the concept is, this is a program that helps students with the mindset and developing the habits that are going to be helpful for them to be successful in their studies, in their professional work after they graduate, and in their life in general. And part of the purpose there is to help adults going back to school. That can be a challenge to return to school when you've maybe been out of it, making the transition into a new workplace. There's all these external and internal challenges that we face. And so this program is designed to help us teach some of the best practices and some of the important habits that actually help our students be successful. So it's not just, you're not just taking a healthcare aid program, or you're not just taking a community services program, or you're not just taking an accounting program. You're getting your education, and you're getting supported by a school that is actually doing everything that we possibly can to tee you up to be successful in your studies and in your career. So that's the bonus that I just wanted to share. It's not just about sharing some hacks and saying we care about our students. It's about making sure that we do everything we can, including putting together this live stream to just teach a few things to help you be more productive at work and in life. So that's the bonus. What else do we have on here before we close off? We've got, I already talked about Win 25. Okay, yeah. So here's how we're going to close this off. If you have commented on this video, you've been entered to win $25, which Melissa will do a draw for tomorrow morning. So if you have not yet commented on this video, throw a comment in right now and that'll enter you. That means everyone who has commented has one entry to win $25. If you would like a bonus entry, you want to increase your chances, what do, Melissa?
You go to our Instagram page at
Which I've actually got up.
Beautiful, at myAOLCC.com. And Jamie,
Not
if you
.com.
Or sorry,
At myAOLCC. It's very small.
Perfect. Yeah. And then if you click on our icon, a story. Oh, that's my face. Hello. I've deleted these, but there is one that has a little question box where you can tell us your favorite productivity hack that we talked about today, or you can introduce us to a whole new one. So responding to this question on our Instagram story will get you an extra entry into this week's gift card draw.
Yes, and please do this for two reasons. One, you can increase your chance of winning the $25 Amazon card, and who wouldn't want that? I want that. $25 is $25. But the other thing is, we want your feedback. Maybe we missed a huge time management hack or productivity hack, and we'll share what you type in here. So if you type something in and you're like, oh, I think, the plan tomorrow to today is your favorite one, that's awesome. We'll share that. Or if you're like, oh, here's what I do, I find it really helpful to do this exercise, we will share that. We can share it, right?
Yep. We'll share them on our story. Yeah.
Like, obviously don't put anything inappropriate in there. We won't share inappropriate stuff. But
no, we will not.
We want to hear from you, what you appreciated about today, and what you think that we should also share with others. The other thing that I'll say, if you haven't commented yet, or even if you have already on this video, if there's something you'd like us to cover, we're brainstorming what we're going to do next week. Bob is a terrifying looking mannequin. Yes, he is. He's so helpful for our healthcare aid training, but
exactly.
But if there's something you'd like us to cover, we're going to be looking at a bunch of things. One of the things we're looking at doing is perhaps job interview tips. walking through how to actually land the job once you've got an interview. My background is actually in recruitment, so lots to bring to the table there. And then we've got our admissions team and our student support that does this. They help people find their jobs after they graduate. So that'll be something that we'll cover. But if you have any ideas of stuff you'd like us to cover on one of these live streams, just let us know. Or if there's people you'd like to hear from, we'll be doing some interviews over the coming weeks as well. Put those in. Last thing I will say is, Charlie at West is a dignified man. Yeah. Last thing I will say is, or we will post, is the link to our resource. So Melissa put this together. Let me just put the link in. Resources from today. Here we go. So on here, you can rewatch this video from YouTube and join AJ, who we think is maybe the only one on YouTube, which is fine. And then we've got our hack number 1, our hack number 2, our hack number 3, our hack number 4, our hack number 5, and our bonus. We got a link to Todoist here as well, I think. So if you want to check out anything that we talked about, just go to myaolcc.com, go to that link /how to get more time productivity. Or just the other thing you can do is if you go to the bottom of any of our pages and just click on blogs, it should be the first one, right?
Yep, there it is.
There it is. So that's it. Last but not least, there's a link that Melissa put in earlier. If you would like to register for the free coding class that's coming up February 27th, or if you want to send it to a friend. And remember, if you refer anybody to Academy of Learning, you can get $500. You just go to the Refer a Friend page, put their name in here and their information. We'll contact them on your behalf. And if they start a program, we'll give you $500. And they will actually get a laptop, because anyone who starts a new program gets a free laptop. I think that is all for today. You have anything else, Melissa? I miss anything?
No, I think you covered everything. It was good. Nice.
Well, we are done with 13 minutes before 1. So go set up your Pomodoro and be productive this afternoon. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. And if you have not yet, put a comment on this video and go find our Instagram and comment in the story. And you could win $25, which we'll announce tomorrow. See ya.
Bye.